Yeah, I'm exhausted. How about you guys?
I'm very tired.
I actually feel good. The drive was a little bit kind of boring.
Well, you know why? Because it was rush hour traffic.
Yeah,
and
it
you're
was
going
rush
to a
hour.
food coma too.
It wasn't that bad. It took me local. It took me through like Metuchen and Edison, and then I ended up here, like the back roads.
287 or Tongpa?
Yeah,
You went to
287 through like Fords, Metuchen, and then.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to lose all our audience. You guys keep
I'm just
Don't
saying.
live in Metuchen.
we have to say what we did.
Right,
today,
where are you
before.
driving
Where
from,
are we
guys?
coming from?
Where are we driving from? Very long day.
Oh, you're asking me?
So where did we come from, guys? Where did we come from?
We came from Grayscale Studios.
Yes.
What were we doing there?
Taking pictures of each other.
Yeah.
With our clothes on?
Yes. Nothing nasty.
With and without.
No.
You'll never know.
We don't have an OnlyFans, guys. It's all Spotify. Clean.
Not yet.
We got to know each other very intimately. Well.
Yeah, so we all needed some updated headshots. Took headshots of each other, pictures together.
Branding photos for the
Yep.
podcast.
Yeah,
photos.
just it was kind of fun. It was
Yeah.
time did fly though. I feel like
It
I thought
did.
2 hours would be enough.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't.
No, I think for like you creatives, you guys really got into it.
Yeah.
And me, like the business person, was like, we got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's get it
You
going.
guys went crazy. And they started putting on
Ben
all
had
this
new
film
ideas.
Well, it
cameras.
was 4 outfits too.
But we
I
spent like
had a
40
lot of-
minutes on one outfit.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun photographing you.
No, we
guys.
did
It
have
was fun.
fun. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying that, like,
Yeah.
we know we get into
we did
it.
at least 3 hours.
Yes.
like the first hour, everyone's just like getting comfortable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Kind of
so
awkward.
the second, I feel the second half of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
shoot went a little bit more fluid.
Yep.
And we also didn't think about who was going to take pictures of us.
No.
We didn't think that far.
No.
ahead. We were talking about
We just showed up.
just with a remote, right?
We were just
That
gonna try
would-
tripod.
we would still be shooting right now if
Yes.
it was just a remote.
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Yes. Our guest came to rescue.
Yes. Good segue into the guest.
This is the shortest
Intro.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, get to it.
So-
Let's go.
This guest was a model for me and Ro last month when we did our branding video. And then mentioned somehow that he needed new headshots. So I was like, oh, we're going for branding photos next month. Invited him. But he did not expect, or we didn't even know either, that he would photograph us.
He was our photographer.
And he's not a
He's
photographer.
not even a photographer. He's just a monkey that pushes a button at this point. You know?
But he did a great job.
Yes.
What do you
Anyway,
mean?
Jen, it sounds like you're really ready to start this podcast.
Yes.
Are you ready to start this podcast? All right, guys, welcome to the Focus Say It podcast. My name is Ben,
I'm Karis.
This is Jen.
And I'm Ro.
and we are, I don't think we're focused.
No,
We're
never.
tired AF.
Never.
We're
Yeah.
Tired
focused. We just don't have the energy.
We're exhausted.
Exhausted AF.
Yes.
Yeah. So today's special guest is none other than our good friend Jonathan 4K from Jonathan. Actually,
That's not his last name.
You know what? That's not. I've been calling him Jonathan 4K as his last name for the longest time. I just learned his last name. Actually, for some reason, I thought I learned his last name recently. But anyway, I was just reminded of what it was today. But anyway, I've been calling him Jonathan 4K forever. You guys have been calling him Jonathan 4K forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we always say Jonathan from 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Not
don't
to be
give him the last name
Not
4K.
to be confused with Jonathan 1080 and Jonathan 720. It's
Oh, God.
Jonathan 4K.
Move on.
Jonathan 4K, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to the shit show.
Thank you for being our photographer today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He
Thank you for the
definitely didn't
headshots.
know. He had no idea what he was getting into
Yes.
today.
All our pictures are going to be underexposed.
How was did you enjoy being a photographer today?
I did. It's a lot harder than I thought. I guess.
He's being very kind right now. Can you imagine? He pressed the record button instead of the shutter button. So the whole day is
Still
just video
video.
all day.
We gotta take screen caps and upscale them.
Yeah, but listen, if he videoed it in, or rather,
4K.
if he filmed it in 4K, we wouldn't have
It'd
that
be
problem.
okay.
You can do screen grabs. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, you joined us for our little branding shoot, and somehow you got roped into being our photographer. And I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, our poor tripod was just sitting there lonely, not working. It's all right.
Well, you guys didn't want me to use the tripod.
Well, you try to use it on like our individual headshots. Like it just
that's
isn't
not why I
working.
used that. I set up the camera, and I just figured let's just leave it on the tripod and get the headshots.
Okay.
It's fine.
Sure.
So what were we doing using the headshots for?
Just to have them.
Yeah, we need headshots for our
Website,
Yeah.
Insta,
That is
social
true,
media.
For when
because-
you speak,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
have
because all the
the
headshots that I have
podcast.
all
are
the headshots-
silly.
Like
Yeah,
10
all-
years ago.
Yeah, I have hair in my headshots. My current headshots, I have hair in them. I haven't had hair in like 2 years.
You don't
At
want them.
Yeah.
Don't use them.
Well, I don't have any current headshots until today.
Yeah.
You're,
Yes.
catfishing or your future students
It's like, who's
when
this
they
guy?
go to your website, like, all right, this guy seems cool. Then the Zoom call opens up.
Oh,
This
shit.
this
Yeah,
guy we
yeah.
know there.
Damn it.
Well, we gave Jonathan a whole variety of headshots and lifestyle
Yeah.
editorial
That
photos
stuff
today.
came out pretty good.
Yeah. Yes.
You got some film stuff
Definitely,
too.
definitely.
Yeah,
Where
you got some-
we
And I was surprised you did film too.
Yeah.
I did. I had a couple of shots left, so I figured why not.
Yeah.
Did you
Let's
finish
just,
the
let's just
roll?
waste it on ourselves. Yeah, I did. I had 10 frames left, so
Yeah.
But the studio that we used was Grayscale Studios. Shout out to them.
Mhm.
Amazing space.
yeah.
It's an amazing space. What a neat little find.
Yeah.
Natural light and just this nice and clean in there, and
Mhm.
a lot of cool backdrops that we can use.
I want to
Yeah.
go back.
You want to go back?
Yeah. That was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all had fun, like creative outlet today.
Yep.
Just enjoying it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, what we like to do is introduce you to our listeners, all 66 of them. So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit more about you, how you got started, how long you've been doing this, all the good stuff.
Okay. So I've been doing this about 5 years now, full time. That's when I started the company. And actually, it was right before COVID. So it was like 2019, I think.
Best time.
Yeah, I went to film school and graduated in 2011. And then I did corporate videos here and there, freelanced, a lot of other jobs. I even sold cars, a lot of sales stuff. Yeah.
Well,
Before jumping in full time.
new
Yeah.
cars, used cars,
New cars.
new cars. Are you allowed to name the company?
Yeah. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. That's what I don't like. So.
So
It made
don't
it
get
hard
a
to
Jeep.
sell them. Yeah,
Don't
it
get
made
a
it-
Don't get a
It
Jeep.
made it hard to sell them.
Yeah.
What, did you say something about Jeeps?
Yeah, they told me.
Oh, we were telling what
Yeah.
Jonathan had told us about how like they would always be returning their Jeeps.
Is it true
Service.
that all the Jeep cars, they have a little animal that's inside the car somewhere?
What?
There's like a little imprint of an animal somewhere.
Oh,
in
I
the
have no
car.
idea.
The worst Jeep car
I barely
salesman.
knew anything about the car.
You didn't know anything about the stuff that you're selling?
It's hard. No, it's hard. Very hard to like. There's so many different trims and models and features, and they don't keep it. It's not simple.
So do they teach you? Is there like a little like crash course on sales 101 when you become?
Yeah,
a
there's
car
like
salesman?
training for a couple weeks. Yeah,
Yeah, like
But-
you razzle dazzle the customers when they come in.
not really. No.
Just like wink at them, splash a smile.
Yeah, and go up and say hi. And you want to buy this car?
So a very passive salesman.
Like, what do you want your monthly payment to be? $350? All right, cool. We'll figure it out.
You know, when we got our Lexus, when we walked in, he's like, "Hey, come on over. I'm going to show you your new car. This is your car. What are you talking about? You're leaving a lot today with this car." With the car. So I guess, yeah.
I was not like that. I was an aggressive salesperson. I was
Yeah.
passive. Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't work out.
I've
too
never
well.
been approached like that. It's probably because
Yeah.
I'm brown. Like, this guy just window shopping. He's not gonna buy anything.
Yeah, this Filipino guy's
So-
not buying anything.
So were you working full time when you started the business, or you just leaped into the business?
No, full time. Yeah. So it was hard. It was like 7 days a week because I was basically staying up till midnight, 1 a.m, like working on the website. You know?
So you were doing double. You were doing like
Yeah, it was a lot.
burn
Yeah,
the
'cause
candle both
car
ends.
dealerships like 50 hours a week. They don't, they don't give you a 40-hour week job there. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
it's 50 something hours. Yeah.
And you're working off commission. Is there a base salary?
Very small base and then commission. Yeah. So,
Yep.
So you gotta be a go getter.
Yeah.
yeah.
To make decent money.
It's like
He's a
realtors.
go getting creative.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I still freelanced on the side too. I freelanced
Yeah.
on the side, so like that wasn't the only income.
Yeah.
But,
When did you fall into like weddings?
So I started doing weddings right out of college, but just freelance for other people. Yeah.
Oh.
Did you apprentice under anyone?
Yes. So I don't know if he's still in business. In Union. He's in Union. He has a studio there, but he's got to be 70 years old now. Or more. Yeah. But yeah, he's been doing it for 30, 40 years. He shot my parents' wedding. That's how
Oh my
that's
gosh.
how that's how I got in with him. Like
Really?
Oh,
That's
shit.
cool. So your parents got video back in the day.
No, so he's a photographer. So yeah, it was
because I was
filmed. It
gonna
all
say for
filmed.
like
No,
it's very rare to hear that
video.
someone like got
back
married.
in the 70s. Yeah, it was film. But then now he offers video. Or he did 10 years,
Oh.
So he's
Okay.
photo and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
offering video.
So if he's in the world of photography, what could he offer you in the world of like videography?
Video.
Or what could he train you in video?
What do you mean back then?
Yeah.
I honestly was teaching him stuff. Honestly,
Yeah.
Came from
because
film
I was
school.
yeah.
Oh, so he just brought you on to like launch
Offers-
his,
It was more of an
his video
assistant.
portion.
Yeah, it was actually an assistant first to like carry his stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's type. Yeah, that's what it was for now. And then I offered video because like that's what I know.
Yeah.
So,
But did you have any like inspiration or like a manual of like, all right, this is what I need to do for a wedding, or you just went in and just like
no, just
with
just winged
not
it.
knowing?
yeah, just winged it. Yeah.
like all of us here.
Follow his lead. Yeah, that's it.
So when you were working with that studio, when did you decide to like branch off on your own?
I did. It took me a lot of time to do that. I was doing corporate videos for a while, and that was working out good. I had a couple good clients that were like regular work for years, and then they went out of business. That company, so it was like a crafts company, and it was the easiest job shooting them, like doing like instructional videos for YouTube to sell their products,
Yeah.
and then that dried up. So, but corporate stuff's kind of boring. Weddings are a lot more fun. So.
Yeah.
So when did you leave and start your own thing? 2019?
2019, yeah.
How many did you book your first year?
Back, I think it was in the 20s though.
He's pretty good.
20,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
for your
good.
first year.
That's not
So
bad.
yeah, I went all out with marketing. Like I invested, so I went all out on trade shows and advertising online, and that's it.
What type of advertisement online?
WeddingWire. And
That's not cheap.
no, actually, so I started off with WeddingWire, I believe. Tested
still
that
doing
for a
both.
few months because I was unsure. I didn't want to get locked into
Did
a
that work for
contract.
you? Wedding Wire?
It did. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's good.
Yeah, you can be totally
Yeah.
honest because it worked for all of
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so
And-
it did. And yeah, when I realized it was working, like maybe 3-4 months into it, because I wanted to test it out first, and then I added the knot.
oh,
So and then
okay.
upped it, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you pay extra for like first page listing and
Yes,
top
yeah,
listing?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're looking at least 600 for each, so 1,200 a month.
That's what he just said.
Not in the beginning though. So I just did. What did I do? I did Spotlight on WeddingWire to start, which was
Like
three,
5 or 6.
300 or 400, something like that. And maybe it was 500.
Uh-huh.
500, yeah. And then
Just
I
to get
added-
listed is 300.
Yeah, then I added the knot as featured because Spotlight was taken, and then I had to wait like a year or two to get Spotlight on the knot.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I don't want to give it up. It's like I don't,
Another question that we like to ask all of our guests is your first wedding that you started shooting, your first solo wedding, not under someone. What did you charge?
I think it was around $1,800.
Oh,
Nice.
whoa.
You get 30 Moses Cruises for that.
What, is that high or low? I don't even
No,
know.
high.
That's high
Very
for a
high.
first
Yeah,
wedding on
yeah.
your own.
Yeah.
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 You're like tied with someone else that told us 1,800.
Tori.
Tori.
Tori
yeah.
has 1,800.
I feel like the like most people that have gotten not fairly recent, kind of come in knowing their worth. Unlike us, that we had no,
Yep.
we didn't have no mentors, we didn't have nobody else in this industry, so we just like made up these numbers
Yeah,
to
yeah,
what
yeah.
to charge. You
Yeah,
know?
our first one was 400. I think theirs was
I
around
want
the same.
like 150, 200.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So
one-
the-
even lower, huh?
Yeah.
The studio that I like, the guy that I was working for in the beginning, he like I saw how much money he was making. He was charging like $10,000 for
What?
wedding for a photo and video, 2-3 shooters.
Wow.
And I was helped, like part of the assisting job was taking out the trash at his rental property next door. He had like 6 units, 6 apartments right there.
Holy shit.
And that's just I think that was just one of his buildings. I think he had another one. Like he was super frugal. Like he would just invest his money
Yeah,
in
yeah,
properties and stuff.
yeah.
So I'm sure he's set now. I don't think he ever spent any, like he doesn't spend any
Yeah.
money on himself. I don't know. It's just like,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
mean,
just,
if he's making his assistant on a wedding and take out the trash on his rental property, I mean that shows like he's very frugal. He's really getting his money worth.
it was like 15 an hour, 15 an hour back then.
Wow.
So
So you had the confidence to be like, all right, 1,800, that's what I'm charging. And then just took off with that.
yeah.
20 the first year, online marketing, trade shows. So you shoot these 20 weddings. How does the second year play out?
Second year was, I should have checked these numbers before I came on.
It's okay. No one's fact checking this.
No, I like to be accurate with it, but second
But it was
year,
2020, so remember.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
second
COVID.
year was 40 something, I believe.
Wait, during COVID?
2020 when it shut down?
yeah, 40.
Yeah, it was shut down. So I was booking a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh,
I was booking a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
So it was 20 actually in 2020, I want to say, and then 40 something in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it just like snowballed up. So then I went to 65, 70, and then 8. Yeah. So
80.
yeah,
And where was all this work coming from?
the Knot.
Really?
Yeah, the Knot. Yeah. So the first couple of years, the Knot WeddingWire. Yeah.
That
That's
blows
what jump
that-
started it.
that's
to
the-
get those referrals and meet all you guys.
Yeah.
So this is what this is going to blow that myth out of the water that the Knot and wedding wire
No,
just don't work.
I'm a firm believer that it works. It works
yeah,
in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning.
And then something happens, in
Yep.
my opinion, in that algorithm where it no longer works.
I think it's the
over
pricing.
time.
I think
Yep.
when you up your pricing,
What-
I think
Pricing.
how much you
that too.
charge, and then eventually how long you've been with them, they kind of slow
Yeah.
that.
Because I know 2 studios that started with the Knot, booked 30, 40 weddings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then the next year,
You know what
Really?
it is? They have
I'm shocked
newcomers.
by it. I'm shocked.
They have
Yeah,
newcomers.
they gotta give it to
They
the
gotta give
newcomers.
some
Yep.
food. You got to give some inquiries to the
That's
newcomers.
exactly. I'm thinking.
Is the videographer listing like as like
Competitive.
saturated as the photography
no,
page?
so that's another thing. Yeah. So photographers always tell me that, like, wedding wire sucks.
Yeah,
Or they're not
yeah.
around on it. But
Yeah.
I tell them, like, it's definitely more competitive for photography. There's a lot more photographers than there are video people.
Yeah.
So I think that
Maybe
give me an
that
advantage.
Advantage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
that
what was
too.
your strategy to like keep booking so much?
Get them all on the call as fast as possible. Yeah, respond as fast as you can. Get them on a call.
Yeah.
And if you have to negotiate to book them, just book them. Just
Mhm.
get
Yeah.
it booked.
Whatever
Doesn't
it
matter.
takes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? That client, even if I'm not making as much as I want on that, that's going to lead to maybe 2 more referrals
Yeah.
or something, you know?
Mhm.
Like, so it's just going to snowball.
Right.
Yeah.
That I like what you said about
Yeah.
getting them in a meeting as quickly as possible. I think we talked about it last night,
Mhm.
where you have people who are just sitting on inquiries for 48 hours. You know, this day and age, if you're telling the whole world that you're hungry for work
Mhm.
and you're letting an inquiry sit for 2 days, 2 whole days, how hungry are you?
You're also saying to that potential client, like, that you don't, like, this is
Yep.
how the service is going to be. You're going to be waiting 2 days for a response
Mhm.
going forward if they send you an email.
this is how you act before you have my money.
Mhm.
Imagine how you will act after I give you my
Mhm.
money.
Yep.
Like, I won't hear from you.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, even if it's like on a Saturday, I'm out shooting and an inquiry comes in on a Saturday, because sometimes we get urgent emails on a weekend
Yeah.
while we're
Yep.
working.
Mhm.
Listen, even on a 10-hour day, I have a little bit of downtime for me to check my emails, and it takes me 2
Or
seconds.
even just to write them, hey, I'm shooting a wedding.
Yeah,
I'll
yep.
reply to you tomorrow. Then
Mhm.
at least, you know.
At the very least, you don't leave them
Yep.
hanging for 2
No.
days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you have a template set already, you just copy and
Right,
paste,
just-
you know?
Yeah, some people are like, well, I'm shooting a wedding. How am I supposed to respond to an email? I'm like,
Yo,
dude, it doesn't take that long.
yo.
You know,
A couple of minutes.
Yeah.
takes a couple
Jen,
minutes.
Jen does
Yep.
it too.
Yeah,
Like,
go to the
if she
bathroom
has-
and do it. Like,
Mhm.
She has some time, and if it's a very warm lead, like a fast referral,
mhm.
and it's a venue we want to work at, you're
Yep.
gonna answer it quickly.
Yep, right away.
Go straight to the bathroom.
There's a study that shows, you know, the first responders
Mhm.
to the inquiries, usually they book 33%. There's a 33% higher chance of
Mhm.
closing it, 33 to 50% higher chance of closing it.
Mhm.
Whoever's the first to
I saw,
respond to
I
the
saw I saw higher than that. I thought it was like 91%. It's the
91?
first person they speak to. That's when I saw
Right.
years ago when I started it, and that's why I started responding like as fast.
Right,
As
you
I
got to
could.
be
Mhm.
quick,
Gotta be really fast,
zippy,
yeah.
zippy. And I was trying to be conservative, but not anymore.
I remember reading that, but I could be wrong. I remember reading that
I
somewhere.
could be wrong too.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
It's in the middle,
high, it's high,
guys.
yeah. It's important to be first.
Let me get the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
checker.
No, it's somewhere in the middle.
Oh, I left my phone. I don't have
It's
my
fine.
But you have to be quick.
yeah.
You have to be, no matter what, there's an advantage to being first.
No,
Yeah,
and they
of
also
course,
rank
of
you too. So
course.
on like WeddingWire, Knot, and Zola, I believe, if you respond fast, you get a little thing that says quick responder.
Yep.
People will see
Yep.
that, so they'll expect to be. You got to respond fast.
Yep.
Yeah. So now you're doing very high volume.
Very high.
What kind of volume we're talking about? Did we discuss how much
Yeah.
volume he's doing?
Yeah, 81 last year, 2023, and this year is going to be 70 something. I lost count, so I don't. But I'm trying not to do that many. I was trying to stay in the 50s or 60s, but it's hard to turn down when you see
50s or
venues that are
60s.
good and
Yeah.
and fun couples and stuff you talk to. You know, it's hard to say no.
Do you know what portion of that are coming from vendor referrals too, like photographers, venues?
About half are vendor referrals now.
Okay,
Photographers like you.
Nice. Yeah.
I know we're sending you a lot.
I think we might have 4 or 5 together this year. Maybe more. I
Yeah,
don't remember which
yeah.
ones they are, but
Yeah.
we'll walk
This
into a
year
wedding
should be
and
the
see you.
most, though, I think.
Yeah,
think a lot this year,
definitely.
Yeah, and I'm sending you a couple. We're sending you a couple too. We have
Okay.
3 brands, and we're sending you guys a couple.
Yeah.
Um,
There
Thank you.
go.
I appreciate it
You'll-
so much.
You'll be at 100 in no time.
You'll meet your goal.
And those are all as a solo shooter?
That's no, not all of them. So majority though, I am solo shooting. Like,
How
But
are
out
you
of the-
physically? After years.
I'm not doing too good physically. So I have
When he goes to the bathroom, he pees blood.
So I developed a stomach ulcer like in the fall, and I didn't realize it till like the winter or so. And the doctor, like, it's not from like any medications or none of that. It's just most likely from stress, I guess. I don't know. It could be something else. I did drink a ton of coffee this past year, so that could be a cause of it that made it worse. But I'm still recovering, and we're
No spicy foods for you.
No spicy foods, no coffee, no alcohol for the last 3 months.
Nothing acidic.
No fried food.
That's three of the best things.
So
Four of them.
That's the whole world.
That's
And coffee, you know you need coffee on a wedding day.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Oh, yeah.
it's hard. It is hard.
What about like energy drinks? Can you do that?
Why not,
No
man?
caffeine.
No
We don't
caffeine?
drink
Yeah.
caffeine.
Oh, no caffeine.
Yeah, caffeine.
Period.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the coffee was because like it's kind of.
No, the
like a
caffeine.
So
Yeah.
no decaf coffee either, because that's like too acidic or something.
Really?
So bread and water. That's it.
That's not so bad.
Bread and water. He's like a
So how are you going to take care of yourself for this year?
Yeah.
I'm just healing still with the medication they're giving me. So, but yeah, I'm trying not to take any more than 75.
I think you're good. I remember the last time we saw you, you were like, but I'm not happy with 75. And I was like,
No,
what?
he had 55.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah,
saw
yeah.
him last month, and he was like, "Yeah, I wish it was more." And I
No,
was
I
like,
was in the 50s.
No,
I thought.
and
No.
that's not what he was like upset about. He was upset about the one that got away.
Yeah, that's what
They were-
I don't. Yeah, so I don't like to miss any. I want to book them if I can. It's hard. It feels.
He said, "What was your booking percentage? Like
It
90
was
something."
60%. You said that was
Okay.
good. 60
Okay.
something
60%
percent.
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't want to
great.
close 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it goes
I do
no,
want-
he
I'm
wants
saying
to
I want close
do.
100%.
He wants to close
If it
100%.
goes at 100%, that means
Yeah.
you're too cheap.
Yeah, that's true. That is
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
you're as I'm not your sales and marketing coach. You got some sales training as well, but the closing ratio that we're looking at, we're always aiming for right around 50. You know,
Okay.
if you're closing 100%, that means you're too cheap,
Mhm.
right? So you have room to raise. However, you got to look at your inquiry volume too before you start raising your rates. And I think that's where a lot of people get into trouble.
Yeah.
It's kind of refreshing that you understand the importance of inquiry volume, the
Mhm.
traffic volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Gotta keep it
relation
coming
to-
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your closing ratio is only one part of that puzzle when pricing yourself properly.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wanted to go back to what you were saying, like, you're getting a lot of your work currently from other photographers,
Yes,
primarily.
yes.
Maybe some planners as well. Not
Few,
too
few.
many venues, but
Yeah.
mostly photographers,
Yep.
right? For this part, I wanted to kind of, shift the conversation towards, how can other videographers kind of build that referral marketing machine from other photographers? Because I feel like, photographers just seem like a very natural source of traffic for videographers, because oftentimes the videography is booked after photography.
Yeah.
It's very rare that video comes before photos.
Like 90%. I think,
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like, do you know if there's anything that you're doing that's getting you more of these referrals from photographers?
Playing nice with the photographers.
Mm-hmm.
But do you feel like you had to bend over backwards and kiss ass? Like,
Not at all. No. You just got to be respectful.
You don't have to just like play nice right now because you're being recorded.
No,
right now.
not at all. No, you really just have to.
Yeah.
I think it also depends too on your videography style. That's another thing. So mine is more documentary candid. I'm not posing the couples that much at all. Maybe 5-10% of the time that the photographer's posing, I'm setting up a couple things or adding some movement. But for the most part, you guys are doing that. I'm not getting in your way. I'm kind of shooting alongside the photographer. So we're more efficient that way. We don't have to stop and do video shots. But I know a lot of other people have different styles, so they can't really work like that,
A lot of videographers, they promise us when we come in to prep, they're like, hey, listen, you're calling the shots today. I'm just going to shoot right next to you. I'm going to be the easiest video guy you've ever worked with. And then come to find out they're not. They're like
2
posting
minutes
everything.
in. Like, oh.
and they're making corny dad jokes and they're doing corny poses and stuff the whole day, and that just drives me nuts.
I don't have a set way to shoot too. Like I can be flexible. So it doesn't. Any photographer I work with that has a different
I think
style,
it's flexibility.
I can be more flexible.
Yep.
Yeah, it's flexibility too.
Yep.
So
It's very important.
Yeah, I will have to say that the people that I refer, at least on my list, I'm looking for the same thing too. Some flexibility there.
Yeah.
I understand that as the photographer, I'm only a small piece of the puzzle. I'm only a small part of the creative team. I'm not the one walking in there, hey, listen, everything has to go my way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a collaborative effort.
It is.
And clearly the couple, they brought you on board. They spent a lot of time, effort, and money to bring you on board. I don't want to take away from the final product. So whatever you need, I want to make sure that you get as well. But the thing is, it has to be a collaborative effort.
Exactly.
It can't come at a cost of my product as well.
Yep,
There has to be some way where we can both win.
Mhm.
I think that sometimes when we get into these situations with videography teams is like, one has to lose in order for the other one to win. An example of this is like sometimes I'll work with a videographer who will just put tripods and light stands all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Or they'll have their camera on a gimbal with a light and they're just doing like 100 turns around the couple during the first dances and stuff. Like, listen, I'll give you 3 turns. All right, I'll give you 3 turns. After 3 turns, I'm tripping you and I'm throwing away your gimbal.
You know, it distracts the guests. Like the guests now are watching all of us,
Hey,
and it
the
shouldn't
whole
be like that. It
moment.
should be about the moment. So like you have to capture it as discreetly as you can.
And like, what are you really?
How cool is that shot?
I've done it. It's not that cool. It's okay. That's why I stopped doing it.
Well, listen, if a couple, listen, if a couple wants it, give it to them.
Yeah.
But listen, do you really need more than 3 turns, right?
Yeah.
I will also say, right, this is a quick tip. Maybe it'll help make some friends, more friends. So, photographers, generally speaking, they're composing with whatever, they're composing and they're waiting for the moment, right? I don't know how you guys do first dances, but I'm not moving around too much.
No, I'm not moving.
Because I'm staying put. I have my composition.
I stay put.
And when they're dancing, they're usually turning, right? So the moment that I am waiting for is when
they
I
come
can see
back around.
both faces.
Yeah, the profile.
Yep.
But I can see the profiles because if I had the back of one's head, that doesn't do me any good, right?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do your little turns around them, if the profile is facing the photographer, do not cross in front.
Yeah.
It's only 2 seconds, right? And then I'm gonna lose that turn.
Yeah.
So that's a quick tip to videographers if you want to make friends with a photographer and you use a gimbal to do your little turns around the couple.
Just don't do the turn,
Don't,
guys.
if the couple has their profiles showing to the photographer, don't cross in front of the camera. That's the only thing.
I'm always watching the photographer as well because I don't want to get in their shot.
I was just gonna say, like, we shouldn't be ahead of each other. Like in any, if the videographer's ahead, then you're 2 ahead. If I'm ahead, then I should be, I should be mindful.
Yeah. If I'm 10 feet back, there's no reason why you should be 3 feet or actually a foot. One time we had a videographer pop on a 35 for cake cutting, and he was like right next to the cake. I was like, dude, I'm back here. I'm like 5 feet away. So that so everyone else, like the rest of the part, like the rest of the guests can see the cake cutting. You're like right next to the cake on a 35.
Literally
What is he trying to get the cutting of the knife?
I don't know.
Because 35 is
By-
good, like for 5 feet away. It's fine.
He was like right.
Well, I was
by
on a
the
35 too, so I don't know why he was right next to the cake. So
It is what it is, but
He probably wanted a piece. Yeah.
Another thing I do too is I have different lenses depending on not just what's right for the scene, but what photographer I'm working with. So if there's a couple photographers that do work a lot faster than you guys, and so I need to keep up with him, and so I'll be on like a 24-70 for that, so I can grab my shots really fast that I need.
are you calling it slow?
No, you guys are good.
I thought we were fast. There's someone faster?
Is someone faster than us?
But yeah, he just moves a little bit faster, posing and stuff. So I need to be that speed. I don't want to slow him down.
really,
Plus, he's getting a lot more shots in, so more shots for me if I can be fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll adjust based on what you guys are shooting on. If you're on 35, I'll be on 35 to match.
Yeah.
If you're on 50, I'll go on 50.
Yeah, I once shot a toast where the videographer had like 3 cameras literally right on the sweetheart table. Like on the sweetheart table.
I think I know who you're talking about.
You do? Well, we'll leave that name out. Yeah. But I'm like, why do you need a camera so close to... Actually, I was like, hey, is your camera going to be there for the entire...
Wait, on the physical table?
Like, on the corner. He would have a camera right on the corner of the sweetheart table.
Sitting on the table or on a tripod?
On a tripod.
Okay, but in the... Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, does it have to be there? Because I'm shooting from back here. He's like, listen, you photographers, you guys are such a pain in the ass, basically.
It's that mindset that they think of that, like, oh, you only need like 2-3 photos.
We're waiting for the moment, for a nice moment, a tear or something.
Yeah, no, but what they're thinking is that, like, especially depending on what lens we use, we can zoom in, so we could crop it out. Like, that's their thinking.
I know
of
they're
not...
thinking too that you guys can edit it. We can't really edit it. We can't Photoshop it. They
Yeah.
are thinking that,
Right.
but it's still not that easy. You still have to go through a lot of photos.
Yeah,
So
and it's still the wrong mindset to have anyway. Like,
that's the mindset where, one person wins at the expense of another.
I think that's the
person losing.
older mindset of industry.
Me.
Now is more gearing towards teamwork, flexibility, everyone work together.
Like, what do you need? Like, if you come into, hey, what do you need to make this day successful for you? Tell me what you need, and we'll see what we can do to kind of figure it out.
You don't even have to say that.
Well, I mean, that's a mentality. That's a mentality.
Right. But
I do say it, actually.
Yeah, you do.
You know what's
You
up?
say it to everyone.
A flag for me, like they could be nice, right, for prep. And as soon as we get to the ceremony site, if I see that you already
Set up.
parked yourself on purpose because you know that eventually I'm going to be there, but you've
Yep.
already taking the prime
Yep.
spot.
Where are they
Yeah.
parking?
Like they'll park themselves like, you know, the main aisle.
Yeah,
like
the center.
when the
Mhm.
processionals are happening, they'll take the center, like, and not give us room,
Yep.
like, because there are tripods everywhere. So
that-
when I see an act like that, I already know that, like, all right, this going to be a territory game
Yeah.
for the ceremony,
Yep.
and I'm just like,
No playing nice.
yeah. And at that
Yep.
point, I'm gonna be next
Yep.
to right
Yep,
next to
yep,
the camera,
Yeah.
you know, and it is what it is. But usually, most people, even when I worked with you as
Yeah.
well, we always talk like,
Yeah,
like,
just be
hey,
flexible.
Right,
Like, I don't,
right.
There's
I
always
don't
a
need
game
the
plan.
center.
Yeah.
I could be off to the side a little bit, or I can just go below you. I can crouch
Right,
down and you go
right,
above me
right.
to get the center
Yep.
shot of the bride coming in. Like,
Mhm.
there's a way to make it work.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
if we must have certain shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one. All right. So, you know, if, assuming you guys are doing hetero weddings, right? So that if you have the groom on one side, right? Usually the camera's on the other side so I can get reaction. I can
Exactly.
pivot, right?
Yeah,
Right? So I'm in the right position, or the correct position, right? So I can pivot and I can have my camera down the aisle as well. So I pan around and I look. This is a fucking video guy like right there next to the groom. I was like, dude, the groom can't see down the aisle. They're fucking standing right there, dude.
I had that happen a few times.
So what are you doing? Stand next to me. Listen, if you want to go high, I'll go low, or if you want to go low, I'll go high. But you can't be blocking this guy's view.
Mm-mm.
That same scenario, I actually did a wedding where the groom actually left the aisle, like where he was standing, tapped him and was like, "Hey, man, I can't see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Oh my
you have to
gosh,
move
like-
or something."
Yeah.
You know, and good for him for speaking
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
A lot of people they'll just stay put
Yeah.
and just let it be. Like, you know, he wanted that moment. He wanted to see his wife,
It's a
future wife,
important-
walking down the aisle.
Like-
and
Do you
this-
hear
and-
these things that we deal with, Jonathan?
I know. No, at every wedding, I hear horror stories from new photographers, like videographers. They'll tell me about their last videographer they work with.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
It's-
photographers can be shitheads too. We
Oh,
know
yeah,
a couple
yeah,
of
yeah,
shithead
yeah.
photographers
Yeah,
too. But the thing is, last weekend I was at a wedding and we were at the church, and supposedly this guy was a videographer, but the thing was he was hand holding his camera the whole time and he was looking through the
he was an
viewfinder,
ass.
and he was hanging out all over the sanctuary.
During group prep, oh my god, he would like literally come and like push me out of. I'm like shooting. He'd be like pushing me, like moving me. He's like, oh, move the whole time during prep, right? I'm like, and it's like old, like. Can I say?
I would
No,
have
you can't.
I would
He
have
was
said
like a,
something.
yeah, he was like an older guy, right? And I went to go. You know, they were doing bride portraits, and the groom was still coming en route. So I was hanging out with him. And then all of a sudden, bridal attendant comes to get me, and he's like, "Oh, one of the video guys told me to get you." And he took all the guys out. He's doing like photos, jumping shots. He's doing portraits outside.
This company, come to find out, was a photo video company.
Yep,
They were not hired for photos. I have a feeling that this was an actual photographer.
he was
He was
building
there. He was there
portfolio.
building. He was there building portfolio.
Wow.
And then after prep and everything, he was hand holding his camera and like
He was trying to be discreet.
the
but
whole thing. And the
100%
lead shooter never like met him. This is like two strangers. So he's like, yeah, I don't know him, but yeah.
So that was all weird. So that like they're on my
Poop list.
poop list. They're on my poo poo
bunch
list.
of jerks, right?
Right.
Why
So
can't we play nice?
yeah.
And that's why you get so many referrals.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get good couples.
Yeah, because
Fun
yeah,
couple,
they're
yeah.
more fun
Mhm.
and lighthearted. So he just follows along with it and
Yeah.
was just easygoing. Didn't really ask for much. I mean, you asked for like a nice shot, and I was
No,
like,
you know
we're
why?
not doing
Because
that.
you guys were already doing like what I would need, so I don't
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
ask for it.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
similar style too. So,
Yep.
as long as there's movement, that's all we need.
Mhm.
You know?
First time I
Yeah.
think I worked with Jonathan was I think Indian Trail Club.
Yes,
the first
that was
one?
it. Yep, yep.
But for some reason I knew who you were before we started working.
Yeah, from the, yeah.
But I don't know how or why.
You're the
they
reason
came-
I bought a flat
Through
lay
us.
mat.
From us, probably.
Oh, because Jeannie probably shot that with me. Because I don't use a flat lay mat.
I know. That's why I bought one.
Yeah.
Wait,
I mentioned that to you.
Wait, that you bought one because he doesn't use one?
Yeah, because there was like no good like, for me at least, there was no good like backdrop there. We're using
Surface.
like a white table for like the details. So I was like, I should get a
Oh.
flat lay mat just in case. I had to put you on the spot.
I actually want to get one.
Like, low maintenance guy.
I have one, but I never bring it out.
Yeah.
Because
We're so lazy with that.
honestly, like I hate doing details, but I know I have to do it right.
Yep.
But sometimes it takes me 5 minutes to find somewhere decent,
Right,
right?
yep.
That's
Yeah.
why.
And when I can
don't
just
wanna-
whip this freaking mat out,
Yeah.
put everything, and just be done with it.
You work with a lot of photographers who do like the mats and
Yeah.
like do really
Oh, I
good
had it then,
styling
yeah.
and stuff. So like I usually let Jonathan set it out.
It was Angelica's way.
And then I just take it because he
Yeah.
knows how to do it.
When I work with LPS, they do a lot of detail shots, so I usually let them set it up, and I just come up behind them.
oh yeah,
I,
they
I love
do.
doing details.
Yeah.
It's like relaxing to start the day.
Yeah.
Like half hour.
That's your,
of
that's
that.
your
Yeah.
competitor. I'm kidding. You have no competitors.
Good, so you'll set it up for us from now on.
Yeah.
That's the selling point, right?
Yeah.
So refer me, and I'll set up all
Video
your.
flat lays.
I'll do your flat lays for you.
I would take a class on like styling
Jeannie can teach you.
details
Flat lays.
because
Jeannie's
I'm
really good with that.
terrible. And then Jen is a little better than me, but we're still not that good.
Jeannie's
No.
really good with details.
She brings ribbons and like
I
wax
have,
stuff.
I have
like-
ribbons, but I never pull it out.
Also, Karis is really good with flat lays. I'm terrible with flat
Yeah.
lays.
You know what happened to me
pretty
last year? You know, like I said, I don't like doing the details, but I know I have to. I'd rather shoot moments or whatever. I was associate shooting for my friend, and my luck, I get a fucking box full of all kinds of details.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? I had to go to the bride and ask her, what is this? Like, do you want it? It was so much stuff. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to do one shot. And I spent 25 minutes. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, people have done like
Oh, yeah,
photographers
yeah,
will
yeah.
spend 2 hours on
Yeah.
details.
I'm
2-3
sorry,
hours.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
there's
like-
I know people that show up
Um,
early.
I can name
Yeah.
Well, we'll cut it out if
Yeah,
it's someone. that-
Chester Canassa. I mean, it's a nice plug.
Oh, I've never heard of him.
He does no. He does. Maybe he's New York based, but he does 2 hours of details while his second shooter is starting the shooting.
2
2 hours of
of
flat
yeah.
lays.
Is he shooting on manual film? And
No, he's doing digital. I mean,
Because that's their like.
like that's his
Yeah,
thing.
that's their
I guess.
style.
They want- yeah,
The
And
clients,
those get
they
published.
want
some,
it.
some
Yeah.
clients
Yeah.
have 3 dresses and 3 pairs
But-
of shoes too.
But I know,
Yeah.
I know our editor Jeannie sometimes
She spends
shows
a lot
up
of time.
on her time. She just shows up early
Earlier.
Yeah,
if she
do
knows
that.
there's going to be a lot of details.
details. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a lot.
ask Jeannie if she wants to teach me and Jen.
She can.
To style a
I
little
think she
better.
might. I think she's itching to come back to work. She's been on maternity leave for 3 months now,
Yeah.
so she's itching to come back.
You know what? Like, and I used to talk so much shit about flat lays, right? But I could see how it has its benefits. Like, because for me, I just want to get it done and just focus on moments. And if I have a flat lay, I think I could get it done quicker. And if I knew how to style it better. But now you're telling me people are spending hours. I don't know if I want to go down this route.
I spend 15 minutes on
I spent
like,
15 to 20.
Yeah.
No more than 20.
Yeah, same.
But
listen,
once you know how to lay stuff out,
Yeah, it looks nicer.
yeah, and then it
And you're also providing
It becomes
better
quicker.
photos to the
Yep.
whoever did the stationery, and
Yep.
I at least want to do that too.
like planners,
So
like it.
mine, the way that I do it, I don't photograph the things individually. I just cobble everything together. That's my
what I
little
like,
quick tip. So all the details: rings, shoes, dress, flower, stationery. As you can tell, I had this checklist already like memorized, right? Committed to memory, and I just cobble everything together. This is the same way that I teach my associates. Just cobble everything together and give me a couple angles and isolate each of the items one by one.
Yeah.
That's
While
right.
it's cobbled
That's
together,
right.
and you should be done in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
It's
Yeah.
just like just styling of it,
Laying
just
it out.
placing
Yep,
it,
yep,
and
yep,
like
yep.
sometimes they'll give you a bracelet that doesn't really bend. It's
then you
like,
leave it
Yeah.
out. You don't have to
Just
do
like,
everything.
yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
Yeah.
do what looks nice to you.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
How dare you, Jonathan? You left out my grandmother's.
I left out tons of things.
You left out my grandmother's
Well, he
heirloom
has,
ring.
he has more like leverage with video because how much details are you putting in the video?
I like it. I like the details. I'll do like one big flat lay, and then I'll also do like the shoes separately.
But it's like a
maybe some
quick
other-
scan. It's not
They're
like
quick shots, but it's
Yeah.
nice to
Yeah.
spread out in the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, but it's not like a photo they can go back and dissect and
No,
be like,
it's 2 second
oh,
shots.
he forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's my thing too, right? This happened to me years ago. Like it was a small wedding, 4-hour wedding. They show up 2 hours late to this 4-hour wedding. So we're at the venue with just her details. She didn't even want detailed shots, right? And I forget one thing, and she wanted to meet me in the city so I could go photograph that
Are you
one thing.
serious?
Oh, no, I have
Oh
one
my
like
God.
that too for earrings.
And in my head, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm like, you own this shit. Like, you own it. Like, it's not something that's like you can look at it whenever you want. Like, why do I have to meet you in the city just to photograph it when you didn't want a photo anyway?
Yeah.
So it's sometimes like it opens up that can of worms when you're always showing these details.
Yeah, we don't show them.
Yeah.
We don't show them at all.
I used to show them all the time.
No.
So like there was one time somebody was like, I delivered the gallery already. A year later, she comes to our house so I can photograph her earrings so that she can add to the gallery.
Oh
There was another
my
one
God.
where there was another one where I forgot to photograph the memory table, and so
All these
they brought these framed pictures to our house so we can photograph these frames, these picture frames.
They're already pictures. Pictures of them.
PIP. Picture in a picture.
So crazy.
I don't know. So now at this point, right? Like,
Just get everything.
just get the picture, even if it's an ugly picture. Hey, where's my memory
There
my
it
memory
is.
table? I got it, but this is what it looks like. Like, are you actually gonna put that in an album? Are you gonna print that? Right? Are you gonna put that in your profile?
You
photo
have
or
the
something?
physical copy at home.
Yeah, you have the photo.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Some things I wonder, like, why do you need a picture of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flat lays, maybe. I mean, they're pretty. You put that in an album,
details.
right? But
Yeah.
a memory table or your card box.
details for album design are big. Like that's another
details
reason why I
definitely.
want to focus
Invitations,
on that,
details, that should definitely get photo.
But what am I going to do with a picture of a basket of flip flops in front of the DJ booth? Huh? What am I going to do with that picture?
Do you take that picture every time?
Not always.
Yeah,
but,
me either.
But you're gonna come across that. But hey, you didn't take pictures of my flip flops.
Yeah, so we just do
once-
it.
yeah,
Listen,
we
for
once
us,
had
we
a-
could just, it takes 2 seconds.
We once had a grief that we didn't take photo of. They had a bubble tea station, and we got photo of the station, but they're like, you didn't get the cup, you didn't get the people drinking it, you didn't
Enjoying
get people
it?
enjoying it. We're like,
You didn't get the pictures of the people with the line wrapped around
waiting for the bubble tea. I was like, are you serious right now?
So now our shooters they have PTSD about that. So every time there's a food station, they photograph every fucking station.
Yeah.
When they see bubble tea.
They start twitching, right?
Have you ever gotten like something from anybody about like something you missed for video?
Not really. They're a lot easier clients, honestly. I'm sure there was a few things, but nothing that was like a catastrophe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
Just
wanna-
like it's like, don't worry if you missed it, but did you get this? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I remember there was Rob Adams. Well, I'll name drop him. That's fine, right? He told me that once upon a time he would have to do his panning along the buffet line. Like of all the food that's at cocktail hour.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me that at some point during his career, somebody asked him for the video of all the food.
Do you go to the cocktail hour?
I have been asked.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I do go to cocktail hour. I have been asked to like if there's any footage of cocktail hour, and I say no. I'm usually breaking down from ceremony, setting up for reception, and I grab a couple quick shots there.
Yeah.
I'm also eating for like 25 minutes.
We
Since
exclude
we're
that from the
starting by that
excuse.
point, But yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, but
Yeah.
they do ask about that. Did you get any cocktail hour? So now I do try and make sure to get wide shot of the room, maybe some people grabbing food, things like
Right,
that.
right.
I don't know.
Just
Yeah.
to have it.
It drives me
Just get video of people
crazy.
chewing. Just get videos
Yeah.
of your guys
Yeah.
chewing the food.
Every time I see a videographer, I'm in cocktail hour. I'm like, you jerk. And
You're
I'm like,
eating
no,
and
I'm not
they're-
going. I'm not going.
I'm glad because I'm like, at least someone's getting it. I'm not getting it. At least somebody's getting it.
I do like 5-10 minutes of it, then I move on. That's it.
Yeah, me too. That's the most.
I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
we get at least. I tell my
Just to
associates,
go in and if they ask,
Yeah.
here I went. Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it now.
Yeah.
we do
I
grip
it
and grids,
now.
like 10 to 15 grip
No, we
and
don't do
grids.
that. We don't do
Grip
that.
and grids we don't do.
No, we're not doing
Yeah,
that.
we do it just to show people, hey, listen, we were working during this hour.
I put it in our questionnaire, like, and it's a checkbox that they have to acknowledge that they read it, that we do not cover cocktail hour. And it's been like maybe 1 or 2 people that have been like, hey, we saw you don't go to cocktail hour because you're doing so and so. Can you? But we're gonna have this special station or whatever. Can you please at least get that? And
Speaking
yeah,
of
no problem.
special dishes, have I ever told you about this bride? She was an older bride, so this was her dream wedding. And ever since she was a little girl, she's always dreamt of having a prosciutto tree for her wedding day. I was like, a prosciutto
What
tree?
is that?
the
Oh,
fuck is
it's
that?
like hanging. It's like this meat just hanging, right?
So
seen
she
that.
had,
Yeah.
so
I've seen it.
she had this dead tree, right, with just branches, and we're just prosciutto hanging
Thrown
on
in
there.
there.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Just prosciutto, like just
But-
hanging off the
but-
branches.
funny thing is,
Looks like Britney Spears.
That was that was the most important part of her wedding day that she wanted us to
She
capture.
wrote us several reminders.
Several.
I need pictures of my prosciutto tree.
Meeting, emails, prosciutto tree.
You know what?
Oh my
Somebody
God.
took prosciutto and threw it against the wall.
So we were thinking maybe they wrapped the prosciutto in like rose shapes or something pretty, right? So even video got the same memo. He's like, "Where's the prosciutto tree?"
So the
It was like a
coordinator,
mop.
the coordinator or the caterer is like, "Come over." I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't understand her instructions. She meant something about a prosciutto tree. I think this is what she wants us to do, right? And what do you think? She brought the video team and the photo team in to take a look at this
We
prosciutto
all
tree.
looked at it. We're
We're
like,
like,
"Ugh."
"Oh,
We're like, this is it.
I don't know, man. I think we're all going to get in trouble for this." So anyway, so she walks in. The first thing out of her mouth, she's like, "Oh my God!" And then I was like, "Oh my God, we're so dead, right?"
She loved
She's
it.
like, "This is exactly how I thought it was going to be." I was like, "Thank God."
Can you please find a picture of this prosciutto tree?
I
And
do.
then,
I do.
and then she was feeding.
Oh, she was
Yeah, she
feeding
was
her
feeding it to
crew.
each other, and she wanted
This
us.
prosciutto tree.
Oh my gosh, send us
Was
those
she eating off the
pictures.
tree or was she feeding?
I don't know something.
You
We're
have
like,
to send us these
"Oh my
pictures.
gosh."
You have to send it.
She's like, ever since I was a little girl, I dreamt of having.
Oh my
Listen, I don't want
gosh.
to poo-poo on her dream. Her, that she's had for a long time.
Hey, she wants a
prosciutto tree. You got a prosciutto tree.
That's a
but-
very
Prosciutto
random
tree.
wedding dream.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but we got pictures of it. So we were just talking about like any weird stuff that we've had to
Yeah,
capture in
yeah.
our career.
Yep.
I haven't had anything that weird.
Good.
Yeah.
What's your biggest gripe with photographers?
Be honest.
Yes.
You don't have to leave names. Actually, you could leave names and then we'll.
No, I was just thinking it's been a long time since I had a bad experience with a photographer. There was, I don't really have a gripe with them. Just maybe more being aware of like the cameras we're constantly recording.
Mhm.
So
Don't talk shit about the clients just in case you have to do
no.
It's like, man, Chris is a fucking bitch.
No, we're constantly recording. So like I don't think they understand if you're blocking one camera or I don't have one set, I need another camera to cut to. Otherwise I'm delivering full edits, full ceremony reception.
Mhm.
So I need another camera to cut to for that. So I don't know. I don't really have, maybe standing in front of my
Standing,
camera
be
for a long
aware.
period of time.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
it's fine if you're there for a minute grabbing shots, but I know that hasn't happened in a long time.
But if you had 5 cameras, stationary cameras on light stands and
Then I'd be
tripods,
set.
then you'd
Maybe
be
even
set.
just one more camera, but 4 is too much. 3 is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not editing all 80 of these yourself, right?
No. I'm
There's no
finalizing
way.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So-
no way.
Right.
I'm outsourcing the grunt work of it, cleaning up the clips, doing the ceremony reception, but I am like editing the highlight, finalizing that, doing the Instagram reels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How's Instagram been going for you?
Not that great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Well,
okay.
there's no urgency for him.
That's
to-
Right,
true.
right,
That's true. You don't have to
Yes,
hustle that
others
hard
will
on
do
it.
this. Yeah.
I don't have time to. I would love to post like you guys do. There's just no time.
Yeah.
When you say you guys, it's
Yes,
these
yeah.
guys.
generally,
Well,
yes.
don't point at this
Don't
guy.
look at me.
This is-
Just Jen.
this is
Yeah.
me.
And sometimes me.
It's
so-
diagonal.
Yeah, but you're like every 2 minutes. There's a post.
It's very.
Don't look at me.
It's hard, but we got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our biggest referral source.
Yeah.
So that's where we
Yeah.
get most of our
Yeah.
work from.
I would
Our
love to do
traffic,
that though.
yeah.
There's just like no time. I barely put out a reel a week.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
But
you know.
just to give you a heads up, like if they get rid of Instagram, we'll have to come work for you guys.
No, then you do Google. I'm on Google too. I do a little bit there.
Mhm.
What,
Ads.
Google? What do you mean?
Google ads.
Oh, SEO?
Yeah,
and
no,
Google
not
Ads?
SEO. I do Google ads like PPC,
Mhm.
pay per click. So,
Mhm.
You were telling me that you know someone that fills up like their whole calendar
yes,
With Google
through
ads?
just doing Google.
yeah,
ads.
that's what he told me. It's been like a
What
year
are
and
you
a half.
keywording for? What are you trying to target?
Wedding videographer, New Jersey wedding videographer,
That's it?
and that's pretty much it.
What's the
And
cost per click?
I don't know, maybe like $10 or something like that.
Nice. That's good.
10, $15. But I'm not. It's not doing as great as like.
But you're not
vendor referrals
converting
and
all,
not-
you're not
I'm
converting
get-
all the clicks.
Yeah, I get a couple. I get a few, maybe like one booking a month from Google. I'm spending a
Okay.
couple $100. So it's like it's
Yeah.
actually the same per
So 30
booking
clicks.
cost as the Knot WeddingWire and all that. It's really the same.
Right.
Just
So about
another
30 clicks,
place
30
to
clicks
be.
per booking.
What's that?
30 clicks per booking.
Something. Yeah, I haven't even had time to watch it though. Honestly, I'm not even
Yeah.
looking at it. I just let it run. I'm not even looking at it. It's just like because it's so cheap. I cap it at like my keywords are so defined in my area that I can't spend $1,000 a month on Google Ads. It limits it. There's not that many clicks
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
for
right,
me,
right,
so I'm
right.
spending like
Yeah.
$200. Not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's cool.
that's another good spot to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, he books out he told me he turns on ads like January, February, blasts them, books out like targets like the wealthy, like where there's young professionals. So like Hoboken, Jersey City,
Yes.
places like that, maybe Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And then he books up for the year in those 2 months and then turns it off. I don't know how he does that. I wish I saw his like ad strategy.
Yeah.
Meta ads can also do that as well.
Yep.
But what's really cool about meta ads is that you can target them before they start searching. When they're searching, that's when they have the greatest intent to do stuff. But then what meta ads does is that, you know, they have like 51,000 data points on you. So they know when you're about to be engaged or you're just newly engaged. They know. So they'll put that ad in front of you once they know that you have an inkling of an idea that you're about to be engaged. They'll put that ad in front of you.
Crazy, right? Like the sales psychology now with social media.
Yeah. Your
Targeting.
phone knows what you're doing.
100%.
Every time Rose mentions something that ends up on my phone.
Here's the thing too, like, right, so I just bought a new backpack, like, right, all right, like, can't they tell Facebook that I bought it already?
We see so many ads
like-
now for Nomadic. It's like
I'm
crazy.
just like, I bought it.
I'm
you
like,
guys,
stop.
it worked. It worked. I ordered it. Like, stop showing me the
Oh
ads.
my
Like,
God.
But Jen, like, you know, she really loves Hexclad.
Oh my God, shut up. Now I'm going to get more ads for that.
Did you see any ads for Hexclad?
I did after.
Yes, it worked.
So I sabotaged her phone. I kept saying the word Hexclad on her phone, like near her, for like ever. I was like, hey, are you shopping for Hexclad?
Oh my God.
You have any questions about Hexclad?
Well, even if you like talk about something in Messenger, like Facebook Messenger,
it'll pick up right
picks it up
away, yeah.
quickly.
So she started getting ads for Hexclad.
Ads
She's
for everything.
shopping for pens
So
and
annoying.
stuff.
I think those are the best pans in the world. Gordon Ramsay, like puts his name behind Hexclad. Watch, we're all gonna get ads for Hexclad.
Mine's hidden in my pocket.
Yeah.
so you have your hand in every jar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Marketing-wise.
just to diversify in case
Yeah.
something, maybe they change the algorithm with
Or
I
maybe
don't know.
it gets banned in the United States.
Yeah, or the not. Maybe they stop giving me, or they up their price, and I want to leave it. Now I have Google and
That's what
Instagram.
I call a golden handcuff.
Yeah.
Something that I learned earlier on in sales. 20 some years ago when I was doing professional sales. That was one of the things they were like, you know, you can pay for leads if you want, and it's semi-sustainable. But the thing is, the long game here is that hopefully you'll graduate and primarily get your traffic through referrals. But if you pay for leads, that's kind of your tax for not knowing how to market yourself through organic traffic.
Yeah,
that's
true.
your
Yeah,
tax.
that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you know how to leverage organic traffic like social media, SEO, referrals, and stuff, you don't need to pay for your leads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what they call it, golden handcuff. It just looks nice and fancy. You don't really mind that it's on because it's pretty and stuff, and it makes your life a little easier. But you're trapped.
There's another thing too with that though. I think the presence helps. So if you refer me, you know, they may have already seen me on WeddingWire and not on the top. So it's like now they've seen me everywhere.
Brand
So
awareness.
now it's brand awareness. That's
Have
exactly
you
what it
always
is. Yeah.
been on the Knot and WeddingWire? You've always paid?
Since I started the business, WeddingWire, and then the Knot like 3 months later.
All right. So I don't know if I want to cut this part or not, but I'm going to tell you a little quick tip. When I started 14 years ago, I did sign up for the Knot. Only because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. After about 6 months or a year, I was like, I don't need them. Because my first year I did 43 weddings.
Wow.
Right. So I was like, I was only getting one client from them that year.
Okay.
I was like, I can get that one client on my own. I
Yeah,
don't need
yeah.
to pay them $33,000.
Well, the ROI is not good enough then in that point.
Yeah,
right? So,
$3,600 for a wedding. I was basically a wash. So anyway, I canceled it after that first year. By the way, it's impossible to cancel with them. You have to like basically.
For us, it was easy. Yeah.
You have to bang on their doors like.
But I think this is more recent now that more people have been talking crap
Well,
about
they
like
play
canceling.
a lot of games. I just renegotiated with them like a month ago, and it took like 3 weeks to renegotiate. And they always like I had a new salesperson that was handling my account. The previous salesperson would always make mistakes when she sent me the new contract and say, "I'm bad at math. I'm sorry." The new one said the exact same things, and I called them out.
Math.
Yeah, then I called them out on it. Like, how are you both bad at math? To last two people, and that's exactly what you told me. And you're in sales. How can you be bad at math? So, but yeah, after renegotiating, like I was able to get it and just keep the price the same.
If you're
because I
bad
was
at
paying
math, you
before.
get a job at the Knot. That's what it is.
But yeah, they kept the price the same. So you can negotiate with them if you threaten to quit. And everyone knows they will keep the price the same because they don't want to deal with
But I didn't tell
finding
you my
another
secret
customer.
though. I didn't tell you my secret. I'm still listed on the Knot and WeddingWire, and I still get the yearly awards.
Yeah.
Well, everyone does.
Yeah, that's free.
That's free.
No. You have to be grandfathered in.
Yes, that is. Yeah.
You have to be grandfathered. So I'm grandfathered in. I'm in the system now. So my profile still exists.
Oh,
in the
our
Knot,
profile still exists.
and I can still edit. I can
Yeah.
still update the photos and portfolio.
It's
and
weird
everything.
they do
Yeah.
that because like the Knot now, if you have to pay to be on the Knot. If you stop paying, you're kicked off. But since you're grandfathered in, you're fine.
okay.
Like you're
so
on there
like
for
way back.
Even
So you have a-
Wedding
know
Wire
that.
too. Wedding
Wedding Wire, same
Wire
thing.
now.
Is it? Yeah.
I
They
still get
used
leads
to-
from there, from Wedding Wire and
Yeah,
the Knot.
and then they
Same.
used to allow free accounts for reviews. Not anymore. Yep.
Mhm.
You gotta pay.
So Karis has all the reviews on Google. now.
Mine's all on
Yeah,
Google.
I have
Yeah.
them both.
But you're absolutely right. It's about branding. It's about presence. People see your name all over the place.
Yep.
That's how.
he's-
And on the
He
reviews
must
too,
be good. Yeah.
I diversify the reviews. So
Yeah,
like
they
I always
said
send
to
them
do
if
that.
they offer to leave a review, I'll send them links to all of them
Yeah,
because what
yeah.
if I drop Wedding Wire or Not?
Yeah,
They kick
yeah,
me off.
yeah.
I lose all those reviews possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully they wouldn't do that.
But
'cause
you could
it, know.
just-
I copied and pasted
Yeah,
them into a
copy,
Google
paste,
Doc,
save it. Yep.
so I have them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just-
But I mean, I still want like a presence for them. So like I make them do Zola.
Oh no, I'm just saying like in the future if you need it for like your own
I could
marketing,
show-
you
yeah,
have the
that's
copy
true.
at least in case of
That's
anything.
true.
Doesn't disappear.
Yeah.
But Google, I think, is the best. I think like that's
yeah,
right.
Google.
Yeah.
They said it just helps you with
It helps you.
Yeah.
Oh, having
Ranking
Google reviews
too.
helps you
Ranking.
ranking with
Yep.
ranking with your SEO.
ranking
Yes,
too.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you're telling us at lunch about your mindset of like why you're taking so many. So definitely share that because I think that's
So-
important for people to hear.
Trying to buy a house, man.
Yeah.
No, well,
Yeah,
not, but aside
definitely
from that,
Yeah,
but
I'm
like,
saving for a house, but I enjoy shooting weddings. It's fun. So I'd rather be doing that than editing, honestly, or sitting home.
Mhm.
But also there's always that fear of like, what if it drops off next year or something? Or maybe a couple years down the road, at least I banked that money. And that kind of makes up for that. If I'm doing 80 now and it drops down to 50, well, or 40, then kind of average 60, it's okay. So it just alleviates that fear a little bit. But that's always there that it may drop off.
We talked about
Mhm.
it yesterday on my live. If you're doing a high volume, if you lose a couple, it's okay.
Mhm.
I think Kelly C, which I hope will be
Yeah.
a guest here one day, she said the same thing. Like if I lose 5 or 6 weddings, it's not the end of the world.
Mhm.
But if you're only shooting 20 a year and you lose 5 to 6 weddings, that's a big deal. That's almost that's like a third of your income.
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of it too, and what she had mentioned about like since she's still a little bit younger, like still having the capacity to work hard because you can't do that. I mean, you
Yes,
can
exactly,
do this when you're older, but
The
do you
shelf
want
life.
to? And like make as much money as you physically can now, so you can, like you said, bank it or save it or store it.
Yeah.
And I think she and people like you who shoot such a high volume as solo shooters get a lot of hate because they're like, why are you doing that so much? That's gonna kill you.
And you got to be undercutting the market.
Yeah.
And
I'm average, I think. But
No, yeah,
you're
your
not.
price
I
is
know
fair.
what your numbers are. You're not
Yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not cheap, but
You also don't want to price yourself out of your current market. If you're
Right, yep.
okay with your clients and you're hitting your target client, then raising
And
your
you're making
price.
and you're making
Yeah.
money and you're
yeah, you
profitable.
know what it is. So it's also the advertising costs. I feel like the more I shoot, I'm getting more bang for my buck with the advertising. So like I have to cover the cost of that advertising. It's not horrible. It's $15,000 a year or so on Wedding Wire and the Knot, $1,200 a month. But yeah, I want to make up for that and all the other expenses. I send USB drives to people. I got to pay for their Google advertising. So and there's a
You
lot
pay
of
for
other
shipping.
expenses.
There's a lot of costs. A lot of
Yeah, it adds
overhead.
up. It adds up. It's
Yeah.
editors, of course, is a big expense. That's yeah.
Labor's always a big one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. But,
Second shooter.
Yeah, but a
Yes.
lot of people when they see these big numbers are like, he's got to be undercutting the market. He must be not paying his taxes. He must have a lot of associates. all these
or you're
bad
just
things.
flat out crazy. You have no life because you're always shooting.
Right.
That's closer
But-
to it. Yeah.
But also like one of the things that in that episode we were listening to was that if you think about when you work in your full-time job, you said you work in 60 hours and at the car dealership,
Yeah,
right?
50 something. Yeah,
All
60,
right.
yeah, 60 or something.
How many hours are you let's say you're doing a double, right? And then you're answering emails that week, you're doing a little editing. How many hours do you actually think you're working that week?
a lot.
The wedding is going to be 22 weddings you're saying?
Yeah.
24
Yeah.
hours or so,
All
I
right,
would say.
so let's say 24.
Travel, and then I got another maybe 5 hours a day during the week of like responding to emails,
Right.
calls, editing. It's not that bad.
Yep.
So let's say
Yeah.
30 to 40, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
30, 40 hours.
Yeah.
But you're
Per
working for
week.
yourself. No, a week.
A
I'm
week,
talking about,
like,
right?
with editing and
So, people, what Kelly was saying was that people are judging other photographers or videographers that are taking such a high volume, right? Oh my God, you must not have a life. But yet, someone that's working their 9 to 5 for 60 hours is praised, right? They're not being like, oh, this person has no life. They're not being
Yeah.
ridiculed. But why in this industry, we always judge people that are doing that.
for
Right?
working hard, putting in the time.
Yeah,
Right,
Right.
right,
And
right.
you're still working less hours than if you think, like I just said, some weeks we say if you don't have weddings,
Yeah.
5-10 hours of during the week that you're probably actually working, right?
Because even if you're working 40 hours a week at a 9 to 5 job, you still have commuting time.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
another 2 to 3 hours on top of that. So actually, you're looking at another 15 hours on top of that. So now you're looking at 55, anywhere between 55 to 60 hours a week that you're spending in an office, right? I mean, listen, you're gainfully employed. We should celebrate that, right? But the thing is, if you're running
Got
your own
health
business,
insurance.
Yes.
and retirement, maybe pension, right? But the thing is, you're owning your own business and you're using all that time and energy devoted to your business. Why are we looking down on that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's something we do as an industry.
And then usually a lot of the people who are complaining are people who are not doing that well themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of directing that energy towards their own business and growing their own business, they're using that energy to kind of like speak down on people who are actually out there crushing it and doing things in their business and making it work.
and without knowing the reasonings of why they're shooting that much.
Right.
Like you said, you love it, right? So if
Yeah.
you love your job, it doesn't matter if you do 10 or 100. You're still gonna do it. The money is a bonus, obviously, but like it's not gonna. It's different if you have a 9 to 5 and you wake up and you're like, shit, I gotta go work now.
Yep.
That's a whole different thing. Like opposed to working for yourself, putting the time in. But what I'm trying to say is that even after investing all these hours every week, we're still not working as much as somebody that's doing a 40-hour, 50-hour week.
Right. I mean, the job that you had immediately right before doing wedding films, what were you doing?
Cars. That was
Cars,
cars.
yeah.
Yeah. And that was sometimes early mornings and staying late. I mean, if someone's stuck in finance, like if I'm just sold them a car and they're stuck in finance,
Oh,
I was there
4
all night to
hours.
1 a.m.
Oh
It
my
It was
gosh,
insane.
yeah.
That's when I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
This is
At
ridiculous.
least now you know, like, all right, Friday,
like-
Saturday, Sunday, these are weddings.
Yeah, that's when I was like
Monday
working
to
on the business.
Thursday,
Yeah.
whatever the heck I want to
Yeah.
do when I want to do
That's-
it.
We have control of our schedule. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
busy seasons, we have no life. That's
Yeah.
fact, right? Sometimes we don't even see our kids. I don't know what I'm eating. But
Single
like,
dad here, okay?
Yeah.
Single dad here.
holding the companies here. But summers we take like 2-3 months off. Who
Yeah.
gets to say that?
I know. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we
I
take
think you guys
off.
commented, you're like, the Laos are the only wedding photographers we know that take off during the wedding season, like a whole fucking 2 months.
But
during the
June,
wedding
July,
season.
August is our
But
off
that's the
time.
luxury.
Yeah.
That's the luxury
Right.
of being in this
We work
field,
hard
like,
and we
yeah.
play
I
hard.
also don't want to shoot in July either.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's too fucking hot. But
And your kids are off, so you spend that time with your
You
kids.
get, you get through it though. It feels good at the end of the day. Come on.
When you go home and take a shower.
Dude,
I did a whole bunch last summer.
Dude, like I remember there was one summer. This is when the kids were little. We didn't really travel. I remember I was working that July, man. Like every weekend, just swamp ass. Like just, I was just
chafing everywhere.
I was like, why are you walking like that? I can't walk any other way. Like
a
it's
cowboy.
so hot, you know.
The heat doesn't bother me, so I'm fine.
We have a lot
You
of
can
July
wear
this
a
year.
dress, okay? I can't wear a dress.
Winter, I hate the winters.
I love
Yeah,
winter
we take
weddings.
winter
Yeah.
off.
But in any case, right before I became a wedding photographer, I was in the chicken factory. I would never want to go back.
Mhm.
I learned a lot of things at the chicken factory, but the thing is, I don't want to go back. All right, and I know what it is to be poor, what it's like to be poor and having nothing.
That's
Right?
what keeps me going.
Mhm.
Me too.
And
Yep.
the thing is, I don't ever want to go back to that. My desire for success is not greater than my fear of failure. I do not want to fail.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
that motivates me more than my drive to succeed. Believe it or not.
Of course.
I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like, I do not want to fail. Like,
No,
failure is not
I'm
an
the
option
same.
for me.
Yeah, that's why I take everything I can get.
The success is
That's what
the success that we've experienced in our work. It's just a byproduct of our fear of failure.
Mhm. Yep.
Mhm.
Let me say that again.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Pastor Lau.
Say it with your chest.
Like the byproduct of our success has more to do with our fear of failure than anything else.
Mhm.
More
We-
so now.
Yeah, more so now. We do not want to fail. We cannot fail. Failure is
Mhm.
not an option for
Yeah.
us.
We're listening to a podcast with this ex-CIA
Mhm.
employee was on the podcast, and they were asking him questions, and his goal is to move out of the country in a couple of years. And one of the things he talks about is like about having fear, like the people that have fear, because he took whatever he learned from the CIA and incorporated it into his business now. So now he I guess he mentors and
Those business training.
yeah. and part of that was like the fear. He said, people's fear is what keeps them alert, right? And he goes, you want people to have fear because that fear is what keeps them. But also, people that don't have fear will also have a higher chance of succeeding, even higher than somebody that does have fear. So they both work hand in hand. And he goes, we need both in this world.
Yeah.
Because the people that I've encountered, you know, during my time as a coach, right? There are some folks that are just content with what they have and where they are.
Yep.
You know,
That's okay too.
Yep.
No, but the thing is, they want more, but there's no urgency,
Mhm.
right? They're living comfortably. There's no desire for them to want more or need more.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They have enough, so there's no really urgency for them to really like, you know, take in 20% less than what they think that they deserve.
Mhm.
You know, like let's say they think that they're worth $1,000 for the day, right? You know, if they were content and they weren't hungry, they'll just sit out every other opportunity that goes by them, and maybe the offer is maybe $900 or $800. They'll just like, yeah, I'd rather take zero than that $800 job or that $900 job. You know what I mean? There's no urgency for them. You know,
Then obviously they're doing okay, right?
they're making enough money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if they have enough, I guess.
For us, we don't have
I
that
need
option.
more.
You know what? I'm guilty of feeling that way sometimes.
That's
But
because you make enough money.
that goes back to that quote. Our wives keeps us humble. Our spouses keep us humble, right? Because Jen will take on a gig, and I'm just like, what the fuck? We're going to New York City for like this price, and she goes, yeah, we have nothing. So yeah, and I'm just like, all right, cool. We're going to New York City, you know. So you know, I'm guilty of that. You know, feeling that way sometimes, but I feel like it's our ego that gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a good circle of friends who you can like throw things around with, our friends keep us humble too.
Yep.
And if you know, we're fortunate to be in a friend circle where we call each other out on bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have Jenna.
We call each
me
other,
out.
hey, you're being a shithead right now. And
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, you're right.
Yeah, this with our we have a chat with Moses, and sometimes we have to like, you know, and I feel the same way. Certain things that he'll share with us, and he'll tell us if we're like, all right, but we also have no problem telling him like,
Right.
dude, like you're overthinking it. Like just, you know, the client just wants, maybe they just want that photo. Like we're overthinking it, and just do it. Like sometimes like I said, our egos get in the way of just like just doing our job.
That's the importance of like surrounding yourself with like-minded people
Definitely.
who
Grow
are not just going to provide
Pat
you
your
with
back.
confirmation bias, but they're going to tell you stuff that you might not want to hear. Those are the friends that you want. The ones who tell you
Definitely.
stuff that you might not want to hear. Because if you have like yes men or yes women, right? That's just like, yeah, you're absolutely right. That
Yes,
doesn't
king. Yes, queen.
you do your thing. It doesn't really help.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan,
True.
what can photographers do to help videographers as far as like pitching the importance of video?
I would just mention like those important moments, like first looks are really nice to have on video. Photos capture a lot, but video, like it can't capture every moment like that. Like first looks, the dialogue that's said, you know, the words, ceremony, reception speeches are big. Those are like the most important
That's
video
how I
moments.
sell my
feel
video
like
teams too. I tell them, hey, listen, you know, when I'm photographing your speeches, I can get the reactions. I can kind of provide a little bit of context, but you're not going to get the audio from their speeches. You're not going to get the vows. I can only imply movement, but the video is actually showing the movements, actually showing you being emotional and actually crying, ugly crying, you know, during the first looks.
Yeah.
I can kind of show it a little bit. I can imply that that's something like that is going on, but video is it's a whole different experience, whole different element.
Yep.
What Jen always says is like, I could take a picture of your grandma dancing on a dance floor, but seeing a video of your grandma dancing and listening to the song of grandma dancing is a whole different, it's a whole different feeling. Sharon said this at her talk. She said, "A picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is 1,000 words."
Yeah.
Like
I
I thought
remember
that was
that, yeah.
perfect. I was like, "Oh,
Then you get goosebumps when you
Mhm.
watch videos with sound and music, all that come together. Yep.
I get asked a lot too, actually. Like after the wedding, like maybe 6 months, even like a year or two down the line, when a loved one has passed away,
Yes.
they'll reach out to me and ask for as much footage as I have of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's nice to have in those situations.
Yes.
How do you guys feel, or the videographers? How do you guys feel about content creators?
I don't mind them at all. That's why I
Yeah.
started offering content creator. They're pretty good. They don't get in the way. I mean,
Yeah.
they're very,
'Cause I
very
feel like
respectful.
for-
I feel like
Photographers have such a beef with them, but I'm like,
I don't have.
they're not
I don't-
taking
I don't mind
photos.
them.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. But I feel like it might be different response for videographers because they're actually like doing video reels and things like
I mean,
that.
as long as like the content creator knows that they're third, like photo, video, content
And then
creation,
you, yep.
you guys, we get the spots 1st. Then
Yep.
whatever else is left, content creation.
Yep.
if you fit."
They can fit, but I mean, and they usually say that too. Like, I'm just here. Like, you guys do your
Yep.
thing. I'll just
And
be here.
then,
They
yep.
usually say that, and I'm fine with that.
We have yet to work with one.
No, yeah, we
We
haven't
worked
worked
with
one.
one.
Yeah, I work with one.
He was a little crazy, but
Maybe
He's so
you-
enthusiastic about it.
Track the crazy.
let's save that for another.
Can I touch on one other point too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The I had one of my first 5-10 weddings that I did sold on my own. It was so the father of the bride passed away that night of the wedding. I'll never forget that.
Holy
She
shit.
emailed me the next day and was like, your video is gonna be like so meaningful now because of that. But yeah, he passed away like in his sleep that night.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
After the wedding?
After the wedding, yeah. So
he had
that
any
was
like
sad.
health issues or?
not that I know of. You know?
Oh
Yeah, I
my
don't know.
goodness.
But
Shows the power of what we do. The
Yep.
importance
Yes,
of what we
Of
do.
course.
Mhm.
Yep.
Did you hear about like somebody dying at a wedding recently?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
Can't remember
after,
what
after Jonathan mentioned
Similar
that.
Died at
story
the
that someone
wedding?
told us someone died like at the wedding. Was it Fernando who was telling us? Did someone caught a heart attack or something at a wedding?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Somebody told us there was a heart attack at a wedding.
Yeah, and the
Oh
person
no,
passed away.
it was Josh Lynn told me a story that I don't know if it was the bride's dad or the groom's dad went into cardiac arrest on the dance floor and passed away.
oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah, on at the wedding. You
oh
know,
my
like,
gosh.
Yeah, he said
What do you
that
do?
they were trying to revive him and
Oh
didn't work.
my god.
Yeah, it's,
Wow.
Do you guys say goodbye to the parents when you guys head out?
it depends.
Only
Yeah.
if like we're cool with them and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
close with them. Yeah.
That's
like
another
there's
thing
some
that you should
parents
do.
that like
That's a good
really.
idea.
There's some parents that really take us in and welcome us.
You're right. Right.
So those are the ones that we typically like. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other ones, it's hard enough to find the bride and groom to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for parents.
Karis is trying to leave.
That I'm packed and ready to go.
Listen, if
I'm packed.
we're supposed to be clocking out at 10 o'clock, she's got her stuff packed at
No.
9:45.
I have it packed at 9:30,
No,
so
now
I
you
do
tell
earlier.
me to pack.
Because I know what you're trying to do. So I'm like, go pack up, whatever you want to do.
By 9:30, I'm packing up.
Are you still shooting too?
No, he's done.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Jen,
done.
I'm done.
I handed
Jen-
my card.
Jen walks up to me with her SD card. And
Aren't you guys going back to the same
I'm like,
place?
fuck,
But
we
he carries
have
them
30
in the
minutes.
pouch.
Like, we have 30 minutes. What if my camera stops working and I gotta run and figure something out?
It's fine.
You guys say goodnight to all the vendors?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends if I like you.
Okay. All right.
Most
That
of the
makes
time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
definitely with video.
Yeah, video.
Definitely with
sense.
video.
I do
Self-entertainment.
everyone. Yeah, if I like them, if they weren't
Yeah.
a pain. You know.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they were an
Yeah.
asshole,
Oh,
I but,
yeah.
usually entertainment, I say goodbye to them.
Yeah.
Maitre, if I can find the maitre d
Yeah,
and the
they're
attendant,
hard to find.
it's very super important. I don't know if you know this. This would be another marketing tip 101, right? Make friends with the maitre d and the attendant
Yes,
and the
yes.
bartender. Learn all their names. Say their names throughout the entire night. Even if you have no reason to say their name, just say their names
Good
anyway.
point. Good point. Yeah.
And because the thing is, when you say people's names, you call out their names and stuff,
It's the sweetest sound.
it's the sweetest sound. Okay? This is from How to Win Friends and Influence People.
There's
Thanks for that tip.
There's a
Ben.
photographer that charges like 14,000 to 18,000 or so. I won't say the name.
I think we all know who it is.
We know
but
what it is.
but he is very close friends with people at like Park Chateau, Shadowbrook.
Yep.
Send them gifts and stuff. You know.
Mhm.
here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So that's knows
So-
all their names.
Yeah.
I have it on good authority that the front of the house talks to the back of the house,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So if you treat even the attendants and the bartenders
Yep.
well, all that goes back to the sales office,
Yeah.
to the sales management team,
Mhm.
and that's how you get on lists. You know, I think a lot of people, they get so consumed with their own job functions and stuff, and they're like, all right, I'm off the clock, I'm out of here, right?
Mhm.
But the thing is, you need to serve people who are not necessarily paying you that day. You need to serve the people who are going to talk about you.
Yeah.
That's how you get referrals.
Even like if you're not even on the list, they'll treat you so much nicer.
Mhm.
Like
the next time you go there, it's like, hey,
Mhm.
Kristen, you again.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Yep.
the venue that we're not a preferred vendor at, but we worked there a lot. They had a new employee.
Shout out to Corona Farms. We can say
Yeah.
names.
They had a new employee, and she knew our names because, like, just
She was like, everyone was so excited that you're coming today,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now she's like, now I know who you are. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool.
I can't tell you how many times we walk in and they're like, oh.
Thank God it's you.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the hell they have to
Yeah.
go through with other
Yeah.
people, right? When they see us, they're like, it's going to be
Yeah.
such
Sometimes
an
it
easy
is a
day.
huge relief when you see other vendors that are familiar faces and you know it's
Yeah.
going to be a good day.
I think it's for both
You know,
sides.
it's for both. At least I think it's for
Yeah.
both sides.
There was
You know,
no-
you
even
see-
there was a
video. When I see a video that that I've worked with before and that I like, I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be a good day.
Good day. Yeah. It's always exciting.
Yeah.
when I
No.
show it's fucking Igor again, I'm like, I'm kidding. You gotta cut
Love
that out.
Igor. No, keep that in there. Love Igor.
Yeah.
First few times I worked with Igor, I thought he was a hitman.
Yeah.
Yes.
He does give those.
It's
Now he
always
does
like that.
not stop
Do you know
talking
who
to
we're
this
talking
guy.
Yeah.
I never.
Have you heard
Yeah.
that name before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I've never
he's
met him.
infamous.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
In
works.
North Jersey, everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
When he tries to direct the bride, like they look at him so scared.
Yeah. No one understands
They
him.
look at him so scared.
He's just tall Russian guy, just like with
Like
his
a
tone is so
Russian
deep
mobster
and like,
type.
yeah,
Thick accent.
thick accent.
I crack up. I just let him do his thing, and they're just looking at him like,
He's not an asshole. He's just
no.
Russian.
No, it's just the tone.
He's really.
He's a nice dude.
Yeah, he's when he sees the same reaction,
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Because he shoots for a big studio, and he shoots like 100 to 120
Yeah.
weddings
Wow.
for this studio. So just imagine the type of photographers he comes across, and
Mhm.
so whenever he sees a familiar face, he's like, oh my god, thank
Yeah.
God. I mean, it's similar to all of us too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when we see a familiar face.
When we remember whatever we're doing with Jonathan, we walk in. Thank God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's back to what I was saying. Just to bring it full circle, it's important to work well with your fellow vendors. Okay,
Mhm.
try to make friends. Try to find compromise. Try to find a way to work together. Because the thing is, I think a lot of times where people kind of struggle with their sales and marketing, they're only paying attention to the people who are paying them, like the clients, the
Mhm.
bride and the groom, or the parents. Right? You want to give attention to everyone else, all the other vendors, all the other folks who contributed to making that day a success.
Mhm.
Even if it's the best man or the maid of honor, like if they're around, say bye to them too. Just like be nice to
Yep.
everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
One other story with that too. So there was one wedding I did earlier last year, I think. The photographers were like kind of newbies, I could tell.
Mm.
Like when I first met them at the church, the second shooter comes up to me, and I'm trying to be nice and make conversation, ask them questions, and he says, just don't get in our way today.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
Like, we need to get our shots. We need to get
Fuck
our
outta
shots.
here.
And I was like, okay, I need to get my shots.
Yeah.
And the lead shooter stepped in and was like, we both need to work together here. Like, you had to like
Oh
correct
my
him. Like,
God.
come on. Like,
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
yeah, it was like,
It's a war.
I said the couple hired me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
I
really
got
care,
chosen.
I think if you really care about your clients, you will work well
Yeah.
with all
Oh,
vendors.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's not about you're building your portfolio. It's partly that too, I guess, for some people, but it comes first as a client.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, it does take a lot to get us really like worked up about other
get in our
creative
shots.
teams.
yeah, that set
amazing.
me off immediately.
Oh yeah.
That's
Don't get in my
Oh
way.
yeah. Oh my
That's
god.
how we're gonna greet you at the next wedding.
Yeah.
But I
Get in
still
my
was
shop.
very cordial and nice about it. Like, I don't want to create a beef because then
Do it in
I still
front of
got a
the
whole
couple.
day to deal with
Right,
these people.
yep.
Yeah.
So it worked out fine. It came out fine, but
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell they were not. They were shooting for a company and they were kind of new. It seemed like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karis had to deal with that too during the COVID. You can actually literally hear Karis cursing through her mask. This guy who had a light on. There was a daytime reception with windows surrounded by windows. There's all this daylight coming into
Your light's
Bearbrook.
not doing anything at this point. And I'm
And
like,
the guy's like, "What the fuck do you have your
Feeling
lights
in the
on?"
shadow right here.
I'm like,
That was an asshole. Anyway, you guys got anything else to ask?
No.
Oh yeah, I have a question. So
Okay.
No, it's quick.
Karis'
No, it's
bedtime.
quick. It's quick.
Karis'
So all of us are in Facebook groups, and we keep seeing how everyone's struggling, and there's a drop off this year. What's keeping you from not dropping off like everybody else? And because we know people that do video have been doing it for decades, and they're struggling, and then they're also struggling for next year, and you're thriving this year and next. So what do you think is the biggest reason on?
Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned. So yeah, this year is 70 something, and 2025 is like 30. So I'm booked out. Like I'm pretty much set at least for what I need to get by for 2025, and then anything after that is just savings,
Bonus.
whatever, probably a bonus. But it's a combination of everything. It's diversifying. So advertising everywhere you can. Maybe a little bit of social media, Instagram. You don't have to go crazy like you guys, but
I will say though, I think your biggest asset
is also
not being
relationship.
an asshole.
That's
Yep.
that
Team
is-
player.
Yeah, that was the last thing I was gonna say is vendor referrals.
Be nice.
So yeah, and then
nice
of course you have
people.
client referrals. The more weddings you do, the more client referrals you
Yes.
get. So it snowballs, you know. So
Yeah.
that's why I'd rather do as many
You're
as I
doing
can
high-
because
High volume.
High
yes,
volume,
exactly,
yep.
high volume. Yeah.
Yep.
So and pricing, I don't go crazy with the pricing. I never upped it more than $500 at a time. I still keep it
But
pretty
still,
affordable.
Like we can share what your average is. Like
Yeah, it's on the website. Actually, it's public.
Yeah.
I don't hide my pricing too. I keep it
Yeah.
public. So some clients that may hurt me in some ways, but I think it helps weeding out.
Oh yeah.
1,000%. So where's
Definitely.
your average? What is your average? Because just to let the listeners
My
know.
average is around 4,000 for 8 hours
Solo
for
shooter.
full edits, solo shooting, full
Yep.
edits. I don't have to pay second
That's
shooters. I don't
not
have to
cheap,
schedule
man.
that.
Yeah.
That's not cheap.
Yeah.
So
That's a nice.
You're good. Yeah.
That's a nice healthy
Yeah.
price. It's
Yeah.
very fair.
Yeah.
More than fair.
and
you
then
are
I have
competitive.
and then for add-ons, I have add-ons. So if people have
Right.
more in their budget, they can do it. If not, they're happy with just spending $4,000, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But yeah, full edits is another thing. That's standard. So like I don't just give them a highlight. I give them
I think
full ceremony
that's
reception edits.
good. Yep. Amazing.
so it's just diversifying your leads and playing
Yes.
nice with
Yep.
your
Be
referral
nice with
sources.
everyone. Yep.
Be nice with everyone.
And customer service.
It's all. It all goes.
Respond right away.
You gotta be good. No, all the time. I respond to emails, all emails fast, not just the first.
Did you already respond to my client who reached out?
No, that I didn't do. That I did, but I did see it and I wanted to respond. But I like to sit down and really like
Yeah,
make
no,
sure
I
the
get
email
it.
is
Yeah.
nice and everything.
It's
So
okay. It's
I'll
for
do it tonight.
2026.
Yeah, we kidnapped you for the whole day. So
If it's within 6 hours, I think it's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Within
it's
that
fine.
same day.
It's
yeah.
fine. She's from 2026.
yeah, just,
Yeah.
we met with her in August. She just booked us now.
Well, I gotta
So-
get my numbers
yeah.
up for 2026. So I'm low on 2026. I got nothing for 2026.
I don't think any of us. Have
We have one.
We may have one.
We just booked one and we referred
We
it.
may have. I may have 2026 one.
It's crazy.
I want 2028. No, you want. I like consistency. You want to be consistent. You know. Like,
Yeah.
That's one
You
thing. I know we want to cut it off, but I know a lot of photographers
10:30.
that don't want to take bookings like more
far
than
ahead.
like a year or 2 years
I
out.
saw that too.
You
yep.
want to book me 4 years out? That's guaranteed
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I had a client earlier in my career. They booked me 3 years out because they were
Yeah.
going through med school,
Yep.
and they knew for a fact that they were going to get married after they graduated.
I know a lot of makeup and hair teams don't want to book out a year out, and I just don't understand it. I'm just like,
pricing is not going to
I'll
change
take
that
your money.
much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's-
I'll
all right,
take
I may
your
be
money,
getting up
man.
another 1,000.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
fine.
right.
But at least
Yeah.
it's consistent.
Right.
You know, like
do
That's
I
what
gamble?
they're looking at.
I
That
gamble,
little money,
pretend somebody's gonna pay
inflation,
me higher,
inflation.
or do I take the guaranteed money? Like,
Yeah.
Guaranteed
Guarantee.
money,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Guarantee.
I think everybody's rich. I think we're the only ones. We're the
Poor,
only ones
yes.
that are answering emails
Struggling.
because,
We're the only ones who are poor.
yeah, because we're not rich.
We're poor and
We're
struggling.
spending
Yep.
all our money on gumbo and escape rooms. That's what we're wasting all our money on. Anyway, hopefully today, all of our awesome listeners, they learn a little bit more about.
No tea. There's no time for tea.
Bedtime.
There's tea for
Bedtime.
before bed.
Anyway, hopefully everyone, hopefully all you guys learn a little bit more about how video markets their services successfully. You know, by Jonathan 4K's example.
4K weddings. 4K weddings.
Yeah. Jonathan, where can drop everything where they can find you and all that good stuff
Yeah.
right now.
4KWeddingVideographer.com and 4K Weddings on Instagram.
And for his associate team, you can find him at 720K.
Oh god.
720p.
720weddings.com. I'm kidding.
No, but
That
any
doesn't-
videographers listening, I get so many leads that I have nowhere to send them. I don't have an associate team.
Yeah.
Wow.
So almost every day, I'm turning people down.
Yeah.
Or
And I would
friends.
I send them to a few people, but those people don't send leads back to me. I just want
We
to
can
send the
give you some
customer somewhere.
names.
So I would love to send them to people.
Yeah. We'll give you some
You
videos.
feel
we have
me?
names.
As long as you send.
So maybe this is what we can do. Maybe we do like, hey, listen, you need
A
to leave a
raffle.
comment.
We'll
Leave
do a
a
raffle.
comment. When this post goes up, you guys gotta
Send us
comment.
some money.
Let us know that you actually listened to this episode all the way to the end, and then drop your emails
Yes.
or your Instagram in the comments,
On our social.
right?
Yeah.
And then we will send you Jonathan's information. You'll have our little stamp
No,
of
we'll
approval.
send your
Your
info to
your
John.
inbox will start getting full.
Yeah, your Focus AF. You're gonna get a stamp of approval from Focus AF.
Awesome.
So anyway, hopefully you guys learn a little bit more about sales and marketing, with video. And as you guys probably learned today, it's not very much different from how we market ourselves as photographers. It's just about, playing nice and making sure that we're doing all the things that we need to do. We need to stay hungry, right? I think that's the common denominator here. We're all staying very hungry, even though, our co-hosts, we've all been doing this for over 10 plus years. And even Jonathan coming in here at 5+ years, we're all staying hungry, no matter how long we've been doing this. So it's very refreshing to hear that even though Jonathan's kind of new blood here, but he's staying hungry, even though he's doing like 70, 80 weddings a year, he's still staying hungry. That's good stuff right there. Well, anyway,
Time to close.
I'm trying to close here, guys. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to close here.
So if you want to see some good behind the scenes stuff, see more of our posts, follow us on Instagram at focus.af. And you can also check out our website at focus-af.com.
With that being said, are we focused AF?
We are tired AF.
We're tired AF.
We are tired AF.
Going to bed
Thank you
AF.
again.
And hungry AF.
Yeah. Thanks again,
you're hungry.
Jonathan.
Oh yeah, this
All
dinner time.
right.
All right,
Good
guys.
night.
Adios.
Adios.
Focused AF is a fun, business-focused podcast for wedding creatives.
Co-hosted by award-winning husband and wife wedding photography teams, Ben and Karis.
And Jenn Ro, where we help fellow wedding creatives with their sales and marketing.
With laid-back conversations and real talk with some of our most favorite people in the universe.
And with that being said, are you focused AF?
I am focused AF today.
We are focused AF.
I think I might be focused AF.
Welcome to the Focused AF podcast.